皆さんこんにちは。京都のイングリッシュバフェという英会話スクールの教師のマズと申します。この動画は当校の生徒さんの英語学習や当校での体験についてのインタビューシリーズです。お楽しみください。Hello, Kanae. How are you doing?
Good.
You're doing good?
Thank you very much for inviting me to participate this interview today.
I'm glad you could come. Mutsuhiko, thank you for coming for the interview.
Yes. I'm a student here in English Buffett. It's been for 5 or 6 years or so.
Okay,
Yeah.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah, at first I came here, I didn't speak English at all.
Oh,
Not at all.
really?
Yeah.
But just 5 years you got to this level.
Thank you. Yeah.
That is very impressive.
Yeah.
Why are you interested in English?
Well, I think I have two reasons. I really admire people who can speak a second language fluently. They seem so cool and I want to be like that.
Right.
And-
You're very cool.
Yeah, thank you. I live in Kyoto, and there are a lot of jobs that require speaking English. So I'd like to get one of those jobs if I have the chance in the future.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have some friends living in the States, California. So last June, my husband and I went to California to meet them. I could communicate with them with more detailed things like economics and political things and the social issues, current social issues.
Right. Yeah, because you are a JOKU student here, which means you usually take skills JOKU
Yes,
and you take
business.
right? In those classes, we talk about current
Issues,
in the
problems,
world,
economical, political.
chemical. I see. So it kind of keeps you updated on
Yeah,
some
right.
topics.
Yes. Unlike, other schools, this school, your teachers give us lots of information, the material based on the current issues. Elderly people like me stay away from that kind of topics.
Right.
Yes. Usually, most of the English conversation schools force the students to buy a thick,
Yeah.
boring, uninteresting conversation books, right? But here, we can enjoy many kinds of topics every week.
If you could give yourself an advice to your past self, what would you say?
Okay. I should have practiced English pronunciation from the very beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for a long time, your pronunciation was more like katakana pronunciation.
Yeah. I use Japanese vowels that aren't used in English. So I have to correct it.
I know that you take listening skills as well, our class listening skills,
Yes.
where we learn about pronunciation in detail.
Yes.
Has that class been helping you?
Oh, yes. Listening skills class is my favorite class.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. In this class, we learn about linking reduction.
Yeah,
Okay. For example, I'm gonna eat out
sure,
instead of I'm going to eat out.
sure,
Okay.
yeah.
They don't all say salt and pepper. Instead, they say salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper, very
Yeah,
good.
right.
Yeah,
In this case, N sounds like
yeah,
salt and pepper.
yeah.
So first of all, I always had festival, like
First of
matsuri,
all,
yeah.
festival.
Yeah, or but luckily I
Yeah.
always had broccoli or something. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because in English, words, they
Yeah.
link a lot,
Yeah.
right? They connect a lot.
Mhm.
And so if you're not used to the way they connect
Yeah.
and the most common combinations,
Mhm.
you're going to think it's one word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
There are some idioms that I can use now. She's not on my league.
Sure,
or
she's not on my
something like that.
league,
Yeah. I remember the teacher who explained that idiom to us. I remember the scene, and he was talking about his wife. He said she was not on my league.
Wow.
And I asked another teacher, does it mean that she is from a very rich, wealthy family, or she's extremely attractive?
Sure.
He said, latter.
The latter. One thing I like about EB is that I feel like teachers are allowed to show their personal side.
Yes.
I personally like learning with someone who feels like a real person
Uh-huh.
and not just someone who memorized what the textbook says and just comes to class and just throws it all on you, right? Feels like you're having a real conversation with a person.
And it also helps me stay motivated to study. Okay? I can meet people who are interested in English just like me.
Yeah.
And we talk about things like how to study English.
Sure.
And these conversations keep me motivated.
Yeah, that's really nice. You get to see people who are in a similar journey to yours, right?
Yeah.
I think that the method you have for learning English has to be something that's fun for you. Because if it's not something that's fun, you lose motivation.
Yeah.
It's important that it is a good method, but you also have to enjoy it.
Yes, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And atmosphere as well, because so I don't have to be nervous when I come here.
Yeah.
I just talk to like that.
Yeah,
with
like
the
friends.
teacher. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't speak English at all. I think it's thanks to my effort.
Yeah, of course.
But thanks
Of course.
to teachers, of course. So
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago, I couldn't imagine. So talk to someone in English.
All right. So I think that's all, Kane. Thank you very much
Thank
for the
you.
interview.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
For coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Cool.
Ah.
Are you feeling more relieved?
Yeah.
You did very well.